Sales comparison and income approaches, page 101. Net and gross adjustments. Observing the adjustment total helps the appraiser to recognize the relevance of the data analyzed in the sales comparison approach, given that all differences have been quantified and resulted with a corresponding adjustment. In general, the rationale demonstrated here is that the less a comparable must be adjusted, the more relevant and comparable the data is. Many intended users of appraisals use for financing observed guidelines that prefer net adjustments do not exceed 15% of the comparable sales price, and gross adjustments do not exceed 25%. Gross adjustments are the overall total of all adjustments applied, regardless of whether the adjustment is applied as a positive or a negative. In comparison, net adjustments are the sum of the adjustments taken into account whether the adjustment was a positive or negative. Net adjustments reflect the percent of absolute adjustments when compared to the sale price of the comparable. For example, if a comparable requires adding $500 adjustment and a negative $500 adjustment, the absolute adjustments would be 0, and the net adjustments total would be 0%, as the two adjustments cancel each other. Gross adjustments address the sum of all adjustments as a running total. So, the comparable that requires a positive $500 adjustment and a negative $500 adjustment would have $1,000 in gross adjustments. The dollar amount of gross adjustments would then be divided by the sale price of the comparable to determine the percent of gross adjustments. Applying this concept to the chart of three comparables, both net and gross adjustments are minimal and demonstrate an excellent comparability to the subject property. Appraisers could, if appropriate to the assignment, place most confidence in the indications given by the comparable sale which has the least adjustments, which in this case would be comparable 3. However, comparable 3 has 4 adjustments applied and comparable 2 has 3. We will discuss this next. Number of adjustments. In this analysis illustrated, comparable 1 has 5 adjustments, comparable 2 has 3 adjustments, and comparable 3 has 4. In some assignments, the appraiser could find good reasoning in placing the most emphasis on the comparable sale that requires the least number of adjustments. Theoretically, we can say the greater the number of adjustments, the more dissimilar the comparable sale. Know this stuff on the tests. Comp 920,000. What's the percentage? Take gross number of adjustments and divide by sales price. There is a question just like this, but what the percentage adjustment?